What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Cleanspark today, CLSK. I have these crappily drawn lines on there because this is, to me, it looks like a bit of an Adam and an Eve, right? You have this nice V, and then you have like a kind of cupped U. This is a classic double bottoming formation. It's not a technical double bottom, but it looks close enough to me, man. And you have this this ascending structure in the volume here, which is really nice to see. Coming off of the lows. That's, I think that there is interest in buying this thing. The market cap for this guy is worth $705 million. And I think this thing could be a 100xable stock by the end of the crypto bull market. 100% I do. If not 100x, at least a 10x, right? Which from here would put it at $60, and that would be all the way, near, not quite at its all-time highs, but above this high here. And if you were to get above this high, I would expect that you see continuation at least to the 1272, if not up to the 1618. So I do think that this thing has spectacular things in store for it for sure. I bought some yesterday. I actually bought some yesterday, and if we continue to go lower, I will probably buy some more. But hopefully not, because I'd like to save up some money for some cryptos. But I will succumb to my desires if this thing goes a little bit lower. If we do actually fill this gap, if we come down here and fill that gap, that wouldn't be too out of the norm. I thought we were making an attempt to do that yesterday, and it started to look like we weren't, so that's why I bought down here. Closed the day ultimately with a 0.46 gain on the day, and then today we're down 4.43%. I'm still in the green, but just barely, If we go in the red, I'm not too worried about it. I do think that this was a low here. I think that we're overall in this kind of ascending structure. You can see it here. Low here, higher low, high here, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. I don't think we're going to go lower than that low. The volume came in off of this low too, building us up. I do think we go higher, but maybe in the meantime, maybe for the rest of the week, maybe just for tomorrow, we go down. Maybe we don't at all. Maybe tomorrow we skyrocket up more. Who knows? On the 1 hour, we do have this hidden bullish divergence presenting itself, where you've got lower lows in the volume, but you actually have higher lows in the price. So that is like double bullish, hidden bullish divergence technically. And seeing this, you kind of came up and you're flattening out here. Volume's dying off. That's not a bad thing. Price isn't continuing to build and volume's dying off. Volume's dying off in this range, and we're holding it. So if we can continue to hold this range and volume comes in, we will see a nice break to the upside. And I would expect overall that the break to the upside could take us at a move that would take us above 120% from the low. Let's see here, from this low here to 120%. Where would that take us? That would take us right around $10.85, something like that. Actually, higher than that is what I would expect. And the reason for that, let's see. If we go back in time, maybe somewhere around that even, actually. Maybe a little bit higher than that. Around 120% sounds fine to me. But the reason for that, we're going to go back in time and kind of look at the previous moves that we've been experiencing throughout this whole range and see if we can come up with some kind of accurate assumption. Okay, so looking at this, from the low to the high, this took us about 46 days, okay? 46 days to perform. And from this high to a low, we actually topped off a little bit above the 1886. If we delete all these lines now, keep in mind 46 days. From low to high, 46 days, we went up 120% on the dot. Okay, a little bit above the 1886 though, right? Now we take this high. Nope, that's not where the high is. We take this high, and then that, I think, is the low, yes. And we went up to the 1414 this time. Not the 1886, but let's just see how big of a move that was. So from this low here to this top, that was a 153% move. Okay, 153% move. How long did that one take us? Let's see. From bottom to top. The first one was 46 days. This one is 39 days. Okay, so over a month both times, like a month and a week, month and a half, something like that. Okay. Let's continue to do this. Right, 120%, what was that? 153, 120%, 153. From top here to bottom, this time we did have a longer kind of accumulation zone, but we did move up again, right up to the 1886 actually. And this time we moved up from low to high. We moved up 125%, and that one took us probably a little bit longer, right? That one took us a total amount of time of 72 days. So that was closer to like 2 months, 2.5 months, something like that, right? And the actual top, I guess, actually would have been 76 days in. So you had 46 days, right? 49 days, I'm sorry. And then here you had 39 days. Okay, 49, 39, 51. Pretty close, pretty all close together, I would say, right? More than a month for sure, potentially even more than 2 months. If we continue, we take this top here to this bottom. If we were to make a move like we have before, maybe we make it to the 1414, maybe we make it to the 1886, right? 120 has been the smallest percentage move we've seen from low to high. Even if we saw a 60% move, that would take us above this previous high. And if we broke above this previous high, which I think we will, I don't think we would top off here. We'd actually top off at a minimum of our extension here, the 1272, which would be a 73% increase. If not higher, the 1618 is at 102%. If not doing a normal thing that we've done, right, between 120, which is at about the 1786, to 128%, which is at the 1886, somewhere up here, I think we could see that. Now, how long could that take? That could take from a low. It's not the right low to have. That could take, let's see, anywhere from about 39 days, right? That would be toward the middle of September, right? Because 39 days, not from now, but 39 days from the bottom to maybe, what, like 50, 56 days is what we saw before? How long was it? Or it was 70-something days, wasn't it? This was 72 days, 76 days. 76 days. You know, and 76 days would be all the way out here in, let's see if I can get it, basically right there, in November. I don't think it's going to take this long. I think it's going to be one of the shorter movements, and that's just simply because, you know, well, I'm saying this, but I guess we don't have validation yet, but, you know, we were obviously accumulating for longer. We kept finding a top here once, twice, 3 times, and even 4 times. Could we come up and do the same thing here? I suppose we could. It is possible, right? But I don't know. I'm kind of under the impression that we do move up. Let's actually look at this from a high to low again. Yeah, man, we broke right above the 618 on the first try. We actually closed above it, opened and closed above it on the second day. It'd be nice to get back above this where, like, here, let's see what we did. Here, you know, we found resistance on it 1 day, 2 days in a row, and then we broke above it, found resistance on the 886, came back down, support on the 0.5, had to come all the way back down to the 236. This is what I mean, guys. Whenever I say, if you find resistance on the 618 once, twice, the third time you probably will find resistance on the 886 to the 786 area. This one actually went up. It was a double top. Came up again, found a triple top. But ultimately, you know, what you did was you came down and you found support on this 236, and then you continued to go higher. But what I'm trying to get at, guys, what I'm trying to get at is, if I lost anybody, is that breaking above the 618 on the first pass, not finding resistance on it, and we actually closed above it 2 days in a row, that is encouraging. And the fact that we're below it now, it's not necessarily encouraging, but I wouldn't be discouraged by it either. I do expect this to be more like these previous moves here, right? I expect it to be less like this move right here, personally. That's my interpretation of it all. Yeah, you know, here, both times we came from lower areas in the RSI. This time, however, we actually didn't reach low areas in the RSI. I think we've got a lot more wound up in us now. We're coming up, making stronger strides. You can see, right, each time that we did that too, like here, RSI, we went straight up. Here, RSI went straight up. Here, we kind of meandered a little bit. Here, we're going straight up. I would think that we do make a move rather immediately, and I say immediately meaning like within the next month or so, up to around $10 to $11. That's all I'm trying to get to. So I've bought in some $15 call options on this thing. I have bought into this yesterday as well. I own stock and options in it, so I'm hopeful that this thing does pretty well in the coming month. My options don't expire until 2025, so they are not short term by any means. I don't like to gamble that way. I like to gamble in the smart way, if that even is a thing. But ultimately, guys, I guess what I'm trying to say is I do think Cleanspark is a good buy. I do think it goes higher. It might not go higher immediately, though we do have hidden bullish divergence. To end the video, I just want to kind of go over some key things here. Hidden bullish divergence presenting itself, higher lows on the RSI. We did break out of this downtrend, so I do think that we are, this downtrend was all this here. I do think that we're in the starting of an uptrend, right? That was this here, the downtrend on the 1 hour, right? You can see this if I blow it up. Solid downtrend of the RSI. We broke that on a daily. That was all this stuff here, and you can see that we've broken out of that. I do think that we're not done with this. I do think that we continue to build from here. Volume's coming in. It's very nice. The earnings report, I don't know what to make of earnings, man. It says it's green here, but then you got negative revenue. It's a surprising revenue. It's not negative revenue. I mean, you're still making revenue, but it's less than what you were expected, right? And then whatever the standardized reported estimates are, it's better than it was supposed to be, apparently. So, and then we had a nice move off of that, actually. Maybe we had a down sell into that because of the earnings, and then once the earnings came out and it wasn't that bad, actually, we popped afterwards. I don't know. There's a lot of volume coming in for sure, and I do think, like this last time, we had a lot of volume coming in and we moved up rather quickly. I do think that we will move up rather quickly here. It is the stock world. We are talking about a stock, so quickly does not mean in a day. It does not mean in a week, though it could. I would more expect within a month or maybe even longer than that, right? Somewhere in September, probably the middle of September, this thing will be up from its current price. It'll be up, let's see, and it could go lower, but from its current price, it'll be up anywhere from about like 60 to 80%, 60 to 80%, I would say. If not more, it's possible that it could be up more. As you get toward the end of a move, whether it's to the upside or the downside, you tend to see more fantastic movements, right? And also in the beginning too, but not always. Hard to say. Hard to say. Anyways, that's all I got. I hope it wasn't too confusing. I know I kind of went off a little bit there, but if you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. I do like this stock a lot. I think it has great things in store for it. Ultimately, I do expect that this Adam and Eve look here will play out. I'm on the 3-month. I'm trying to be on the monthly here. Where you've got this V bottom, you have this nice U bottom here. It's a softer bottom. It might be an Adam and Adam. It could be an Adam and Adam bottom, but both serve the same way, where you take the bottom, you take the top, and then you measure from that top. There's the point of break. I don't think that we go up this high. You don't have to meet that, but although to be fair, let's see, from this high here to that would be a 200 and let's call it a 260x, right? Am I right on that? I think, yeah, it's 260x. With a market cap of 705 million, a 100x would be 70 million, right? So a 200x would be 100, or I said 70 million, I'm sorry, 70 billion. A 200x would be 140 billion. That is a lot of money, but it's possible. In the stock world, it's definitely possible. So it might not happen this cycle too. Something like this big could take, you could move up, you could break out of it, right? And then by the end of the bull cycle, you have a top somewhere around there, you form another higher low, and then that higher low is in line with this previous area of resistance, and then you continue on to those prices. It might be a 2-cycle move that this takes. It could be years before it sees that price, but ultimately that is the target. Maybe if you wanted to be conservative, you could measure from the top or the bottom here to the top here, and then do that as a breakout and go, maybe around $1,000, something like that. You could also take from top here to bottom here, the fib, and just see if it lines up with anything. I don't know, not really. It might be a trade that falls short, right? And that's okay, that happens too. It seems like this chart likes the 1886, the 1618, the 1414, so anywhere up around $160 to $724, I think, is game in this bull market alone. I do think we break out of new all-time highs, but that's probably over a year and a half away from now. So we'll just see. But in the immediate term, again, before I end the video, I do think we have a chance to go a little bit lower. We might not, though. I don't know. I'm not playing any games with this thing. That's why I've already bought into it. If we do go lower, I'll just buy more. Especially if we close this gap here, I will buy this with high confidence that we'll probably go up higher from there. So I don't think that we're going to go lower than this personally. So that's just my opinion. Anyways, take care, everybody. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe. Appreciate all of you guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye.